My daughter was dying. My wife said, "I can't miss my boss's party." She laughed. 3 hours later, the doctor said, "We lost her." The doctor's voice still echoes in my skull. We lost her. 3 words, sharp, surgical, final. I remember standing under the harsh fluorescent light, my hands gripping the edge of the chair until my knuckles bled white. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. My silence was colder than any grief could be. My wife wasn't there. She was dancing under chandeliers, sipping champagne, laughing. I knew because I called her. The first time, she silenced it. The second time, she laughed and said, "I can't miss my boss's party. Don't be dramatic." Our daughter was hooked to machines, each beep counting down to the inevitable. I had begged, I had whispered, "She doesn't have long." My wife only laughed, then hung up. 3 hours later, the doctor said it, and something inside me fractured. Clean, precise, irreparable. Grief has a texture. It isn't tears, it's a suffocating weight pressing into every inhale, every thought. But beneath it, I felt something else. Suspicion. That laugh over the phone, it wasn't careless, it was cruel, too deliberate. She had already detached herself from us, long before our daughter's last breath. I thought of the perfume she wore, one I hadn't bought. The late nights, explained away with office work. The way her phone stayed face down, vibrating against the table like a secret heartbeat. I replayed her words. My boss's party. Too much emphasis on boss. Too much eagerness. A picture began to form. Quietly, without proof yet, but sharp enough to cut through grief. I wasn't just mourning my daughter. I was beginning to mourn the illusion of a marriage. I didn't confront her, not yet. Rage would have given her warning. Instead, I sharpened my silence. When she returned home, mascara smudged, the smell of whiskey clinging to her, I asked nothing. She mistook my stillness for weakness. That was her first mistake. I moved quietly. Phone bills, retrieved from the provider. Late-night calls to a number I didn't recognize. Weeks of patterns emerging, carved into cold spreadsheets. I hired a man, not to follow her, but to confirm what I already suspected. He gave me photographs. Her car parked outside a hotel. Her hand in another man's hand. Her smile wide, genuine. A smile I hadn't seen in years. I ordered a DNA test. Not for me, there was no child left to test. But I needed to know. The hospital still had samples. They agreed, reluctantly. I wanted confirmation of the fear gnawing at me. While I waited, I played my role. Quiet husband, broken father. I listened to her rehearsed lines of sympathy, her carefully staged tears, her attempts to hug me. I let her hands touch me. Every time she did, my mind whispered, "Liar." The results arrived in an unmarked envelope. My hands didn't shake as I opened it. They should have, but grief had already numbed me beyond tremors. The words were clinical, statistical, undeniable. The daughter I buried was not mine. I sat there for hours, staring at the report. Not angry, not even shocked, only confirmed. The last thread of doubt had snapped. That evening, when she walked in, carrying grocery bags, humming like a wife who still believed in the play she was performing, I slid the envelope across the table. She frowned, curious. She opened it. Her face drained color faster than I thought possible. She started. I raised one hand. Just enough. Silence. I wanted her to feel it, the abyss she had opened, swallowing her excuses whole. "You laughed," I said finally. My voice was even, controlled. "When I told you our daughter was dying, you laughed." She shook her head violently, tears forming instantly, trained tears, the kind she thought could still manipulate me. "No, I didn't." I leaned forward. And the truth is, she wasn't even mine. Her tears froze. That silence was everything. I didn't scream. I didn't accuse. I only slid my phone across the table, one picture glowing on the screen, her with him, smiling in the hotel parking lot. Her lips trembled, forming words she never released. "I know everything," I said softly. "The party, the lies, the nights." She broke then, collapsing into pleas, reaching across the table. I didn't flinch. Her hands clawed at air, desperate for purchase in a world she had already burned. "I'll tell him," I whispered, "your boss, the man you thought was worth our daughter's last breath." Her face cracked open. Terror, not of losing me, but of losing him, of losing the power she thought she had. That was enough. That was my revenge. I left that night. No theatrics, no slammed doors, just the sound of my footsteps fading into something colder than freedom, clarity. I didn't need to destroy her. The truth already had. Grief still lived inside me, but it was pure now, untouched by her corruption. It belonged only to me and the child I had loved, even if she wasn't mine. Grief still lived inside me, but it was pure now, untouched by her corruption. It belonged only to me and the child I had loved, even if she wasn't mine. As I walked into the night, I realized something with brutal certainty. I hadn't lost everything. I had lost illusions, and illusions are meant to be broken. The final image of her face, shattered, begging, exposed, wasn't triumph. It was closure. I whispered the words only to myself, not for her, not for anyone else. "You lost her. You lost me. You lost everything." And I kept walking.